Hey, it's Jeremy from Oxner Insurance, and welcome to WCW Blast. That's right, it's the Work Comp Wednesday Blast. Well, who needs work comp? Every person, firm, voluntary association, and private corporation which has in its service any person under a contract of hire. They need workers' comp coverage. If you need legal advice, find an attorney that specializes in industrial insurance. So that's the who needs it. That's in Nevada. It's in most states. It's pretty much the same. All right, trucking companies. Here we go. Thinking about workers' comp. Yes, you have vehicle accidents, which can be very difficult and challenging. But we're talking about workers' compensation insurance for trucking companies. What are the two most common industries that you'll see? One, repetitive injuries from sitting and driving. Two, getting in and out of the vehicle. And three, loading and unloading. So those are what are going to drive up those workers' comp prices when those things are happening at a more frequent rate than what would be expected. Well, why would I bring up more frequent than expected or larger than expected losses? Because we're here to help bring value to trucking companies' workers' compensation insurance. One of the ways to do that is doing an experience mod analysis. It's pretty simple. Well, it sounds simple. But it's simple from the perspective of if you don't know what your target is, it's really hard to hit a target. So a lot of people just have an experience mod. They don't even necessarily, maybe they don't know what it is or they forgot. Have a mod audit done. It's a huge thing. It'll give you some of your minimum mod expectations. And remember, sometimes this could be up to 2 or 3 years in arrears, because when the event or events happened in the period in which they happened may or may not be on the current experience mod. So that's something to consider, and your agent will be able to help you understand those things. So why is the mod important? Because the experience mod is the multiplicative factor on your workers' compensation insurance. So if you're at a 1.0 and your premium's $50,000, it's $50,000. If you're at a 1.25 and your premium's $100,000, when you multiply it by the 1.25, it's now $125,000. That is a multiplicative effect by definition. And that is what you want to figure out, how to get that experience mod as low as possible. If you don't know what your lowest experience mod could be, that would be a clue to give us a call at Oxner Insurance. Set up some time so that we can meet and go through these numbers and show you some of these things that can help save your business on workers' compensation costs. The other thing is the mod typically comes out 4 to 6 months before your workers' comp renews. Well, if you're going to get a 25% increase, wouldn't it be nice to know it 4 or 5 months in advance so that you could plan for that for next year? Because with all the costs going up for fuel and maintenance on vehicles and employee costs, wouldn't it be nice to know what your workers' comp would be moving forward? Well, the answer is, of course, yes. So maybe it's time to do a mid-policy prediction or go over the future mod. Because then you, as the business owner of the transportation company, can plan. So you know what those costs are going to be. Can they get adjusted? Certainly, but for the most part, those are going to stick. So the mod is extremely important. There's a lot to do with costs. Safety training, another big one. What type of safety training and how is it being documented? Do you have light duty return to work? Is that a thing? Is that a possibility? I would suggest that that could be, because that can be another way depending on the severity of the accident. Of course, this is all done under the medical guidelines of the doctor that's the physician in charge of the particular case. So we're not suggesting to do something that would be out of the ordinary or away from the doctor's care in a workers' comp case in light duty return to work. Accident and incident reporting. Do you have a formalized plan that does accident incident reporting, a formalized plan for safety training? And then probably the most obvious one, if you're on YouTube at all, you're seeing dash cams, and you're seeing dash cams with people pulling in front of trucks, accidents happening, and dash cams are a great way, internal as well as facing the road, so that your drivers are right? They're driving your vehicles, or maybe you're driving your own vehicle, but you're not distracted while you're driving, and you're also being able to see what the other traffic is doing. That really helps in claims scenarios in a lot of cases. So quite a few things in this video, broken them down: experience mod, formalized plan for safety training, accident and incident reporting, and talked about some of the injuries that could happen in a transportation business. We didn't even hit on the warehousing side, but repetitive injuries would hit on the warehousing as well, potentially. So loading and unloading in a different fashion than speaking of an actual driver of a truck. So hopefully that helps you out with a little bit of value today on this Work Comp Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching. This is Jeremy from Ochsner Insurance, and here's to your success.